This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 13th day of November in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Elections Commission has released the preliminary results for yesterday's local government elections. Some of those preliminary results show the two main parties, the APNU and the PPP, maintaining and strengthening their hold in many of their traditional bases, while the Alliance for Change appears to have been left behind. For the townships, the APNU will maintain control in Georgetown, Linden, Bartica, New Amsterdam, and it has added Madia to its list. The PPP has picked up the townships of Latem, Avaruma, Rose Hall, and Regina and Caribbean. The party's General Secretary, Opposition Leader Bara Jagdeo, said he is pleased with the results.
So first of all, from the numbers that we have had, the preliminary numbers, in 2016, the difference in PR votes between the People's Progressive Party and APNU AFC combined was about 24,000 votes. We believe that the difference now will be upwards of 45,000 votes. So almost double the difference between the PPP and the combined AFC APNU votes that they have received at the 2018 elections. If you look at the difference between APNU and the PPP, it's over 54,000 votes. And if you look at the difference between the PPP and the AFC, it's over 113,000 votes.
The Guyana Elections Commission has indicated that the process went smoothly across the country, except for a few minor issues. More news coming up in a moment.
Christmas, get a loan for your dream car with an extended repayment term. Spruce up your home with that renovation you always wanted and take advantage of low or no down payment. Get new appliances so you can cook up a storm. You'll get same-day approval. Plus, you can win a getaway to a destination of your choice. Visit RepublicGuyana.com today to find out how.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Get ready to ride it, ready to ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride it, ride the wave. Open up the new vibe, drink up the boldness inside. Radical and fresh and wild, catch the wave now. Ride bold, ride fresh, ride strong, come on, ride the wave. Taste the action, satisfaction, perfection. Wave, wave, wave.
Ride the new wave of excitement sweeping Guyana. Wave Pale Ale, a premium, full-bodied, strong, and refreshing alcoholic brew, crafted to perfection for a bold, young, radical you. Don't settle for anything less. Catch a Wave Pale Ale and ride it today.
Wave Pale Ale,
crafted to perfection.
Welcome back, and we continue our look at the local government elections. While admitting that the results of the local government elections prove that there is more work for her party to do underground, APNU executive member and PNC chairperson Valda Lawrence said she would not base the LGE results on the party's chances to stay in government in 2020.
In terms of 2020, I am not going to base this on 2020. I believe that people see 2020, the general elections, the national elections, as a must, as opposed to local government election, which many people tell you, I don't understand. I think one of the hiccups too is that the ability to people accustomed to being at home and they go vote when they like and so on during the course of the day. That doesn't happen at local government elections, and people doesn't understand. They just don't understand that. And so when you think that people had to get up, some of them had transportation challenges to get to work. And then by the time they came back in the evening, I mean, last evening, I think everybody was shuttling people to the polling stations, because if they didn't do that, they would not have made it on time.
Ms. Lawrence was at the returning officer's office for Georgetown on Tuesday afternoon, listening keenly to the results of the elections for the Georgetown municipality. The APNU picked up the majority of seats in the elections for Georgetown, but the voter turnout was less than 30% in the city.
So we don't see it as a loss. What we see it as taking stock of the fact that we need to do more. One, to educate people more about local government and that this is their thing. I believe many persons haven't buy-in to local government. I believe that there were a lot of expectations also. There were personal expectations that did not materialize. And so a few people felt that they shouldn't at this time exercise that franchise within their constituency.
She said the low voter turnout is worrying, but the party will have to do more in its efforts to get more citizens to understand the local government election process. The PNC chairperson, who serves as the Minister of Public Health in the coalition government, said the political parties will also have to look at the size of the constituencies and whether there should be more persons representing those constituencies around the city council table.
I've already posited that we also need to, in the Georgetown area, we need to look again at that horseshoe table. Georgetown has expanded. There are more persons living in Georgetown. The areas are very, very wide and dense. And so is it that two persons alone can have that chance to sit at the horseshoe table to represent an entire constituency? Let us take constituency 5 or 6. Constituency 5 is from Plum Park all the way to the seawalls, and it go all the way to the University Garden Road, taking all of North Sophia and so on. 2 persons is not adequate, and you also have A field and B field added to that.
Ms. Lawrence said there is a lot of work to be done as the parties move forward from the local government elections. And turning now to the Alliance for Change, the AFC decided to step away from its national coalition partner and head into the local government elections on its own as the fit and proper alternative to the other parties. The results from yesterday's elections are not as fit and proper as the AFC might have liked them to be. The party performed poorly in all of the areas where it contested, failing to win a single constituency. AFC Region 4 Chairman Michael Leonard today said he believes the results are actually showing the AFC where it is as a party.
The APNU AFC contested the last time in 2016 as a coalition. They were obviously riding the success of 2015. So there was no true test to see whether, what is the constituency of the AFC versus the APNU. This time we ran alone, and we started very late for obvious reasons. We all know the reasons. And I think we did relatively well. We know now if this is what we can attract, then this is what we can attract. We know where we are, and I don't have an issue with that. We have 2 seats that we got on our own strength.
Questioned about whether he believes the results of the elections could weaken the AFC's negotiating capacity for the coalition government, Leonard said he does not think so.
It is very clear from the results across the country that the APNU by themselves cannot defeat the PPP. So it seems as though the coalition is necessary. And we've said before we believe in coalition politics, so I don't see anything changing or happening with the Cummingsburg or anything.
He reminded that when it comes to national elections, every vote counts, and so there could be no discounting of any one vote.
If what puts you over the threshold to get the presidency or to get the majority is 1 vote, then it's 1 vote. Every vote counts. Every seat counts.
But yesterday you did say a low voter turnout should benefit the AFC. Clearly that did not work out.
Well, I thought so. We were of the opinion that the persons that were coming out would be persons that are voting based on issues, which is what we presented, which is what we campaigned on. Apparently it turned out that persons vote along party lines.
Leonard said he is not disappointed and does not believe that his party did bad at the elections, but he believes there was a lot of disinterest in the local elections and that will have to be addressed. And finally tonight, the Caribbean Court of Justice has ruled that a law in Guyana which makes it a criminal offense for a man or a woman to appear in public while dressed in clothing of the opposite sex for an improper purpose is unconstitutional. In a ruling handed down this morning, the court said that the law is to be struck from the laws of Guyana. The case was first heard in the local courts but eventually made its way to the Caribbean Court of Justice after the local courts found that it would be against the law for a member of one sex to dress in clothing of the other sex for an improper purpose. The case had its genesis in the arrest of transgender persons Quincy McEwen, Sion Clark, Joseph Fraser, and Sion Prasad, who had been arrested and charged by the police for cross-dressing. They were supported by the Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination. The appellants took their case to the CCJ, arguing that the law violated their constitutional rights to equality and non-discrimination and freedom of expression, thereby offending the rule of law. According to a statement from the Caribbean Court of Justice, it first examined the historical context surrounding the law, which was enacted in Guyana in 1893 and as part of the vagrancy laws of the post-emancipation era. The panel, comprising of the CCJ President, Justice Saunders, and Justices Witt, Anderson, Reginald Lee, and Barrow, agreed that the law was from a different time and no longer served any legitimate purpose in Guyana. The CCJ statement also said that it was also noted that Guyana's constitution protects its people from discrimination and states that no one is to be treated in a discriminatory manner by any public office or authority. The court ordered that the cross-dressing law be struck from the laws of Guyana and that costs be awarded to the appellants in the appeal before the CCJ and in the courts below. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.